So when I wanted to walk backwards on a treadmill, I thought it was cool just walking when the belt was going, but then I realized I needed to have resistance on it. And so this was inspired by the knees over toes guy. But some treadmills aren't the same. And so when I'm at the gym, I have to actually put the incline up. And so I've got the incline up right here on my treadmill here. And you have to hit stop. Now some treadmills, they go in a pause mode where they only go and for like 2 minutes, whatever, and pause. And there's no way to get out of that, or at least without going into the settings and all that other stuff. What you do is, that means every 2 minutes you got to turn around, hit start real quick, and then stop, pause it back up again. Or at least that's what I've had to do. And so while I've got it on the incline here, I'm going to grab both of these handles when I turn around. Now you'll notice on all the instructions they say like only to walk forwards, hold the handles. It does say like not to operate it while it's on backwards while you're walking backwards. So I'm just saying from my point of view, when you have it stopped like this and the belt's not going at all, is you got to make sure to have it fully stopped. But like I said, don't take my word for it. But you grab onto these here so you have something to hold on to, because there's a little bit of some. And so what I'm going to do, I hope you can hear me clearly, and just try this once before you decide to knock it, or don't think it's going to work for you. If you have bad knees, this might help a lot. Or if you're not getting enough, walking, and you're trying to get back into using either a treadmill or walking, this is a cool place to start. But some treadmills, they have a lot of resistance, and it's really hard to walk like this. And so the higher the incline, I would say, the better. You can lower it a little bit if you want to make it a little bit harder. But basically, you'll feel the resistance. And I walk probably 10 to 15 minutes like this, some weeks, maybe a few times a week. But regularly, I've heard it can just bulletproof knees, and it's helped my knees out a bunch to where I can walk more. But ultimately, it really just depends on the treadmill that you're using. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want to try it out sometime, go for it. Just be safe. Always use safety first. And if you don't know what you're doing, get some help if you're at a gym, because usually the trainers, personal trainers, people that have been there a while, or the old veterans that have been in there for a while, they know how to do all kinds of stuff on these different machines. But the one limiting factor I've had on all treadmills is when they go into that pause mode. You just got to remember to turn around and hit it and start. Pause, and you want to make sure the belt's not actually moving, because you're pushing it. And just try it, and then try it a few more times and see what happens. Make sure to comment on the video and let me know if you have any improvements. I'd love to hear, because ultimately walking's important. It is one of the best ways to preserve your muscle over time. And it's just because the gravity in your muscles and holding the resistance up while your biomechanics are doing what they're doing. So it's good stuff. So don't ever stop walking or running if you can. And you need to get your heart rate up. And so that's ultimately why you need to have cardio. Because if you have big muscles, what good are your big muscles if your heart doesn't work and it's not delivering enough oxygen because it's got too much carbon built up in it? Cardio is the one single thing that I've always done, and it was warming up before I worked out, and then I do my stretching after when I'm all nice and warm. So hope this video helps other people, but that's usually the order that I do things in, is I do different stretches and kind of like isometric or isolated exercises where I'm working with my stabilizers first to get them warm, and then your ligaments and everything, and then maybe using some resistance bands. Doing some stretching like yoga beforehand, maybe to warm up, but most of the time it's usually a bicycle or a treadmill. And then what I do is I do weights, free weights, or different kinds of cable weights, machine exercises, stuff like that. And then after all of that, I do my stretching. And so ultimately, that's what's worked best for me, but some people are different and they need less time to warm up, and they might need more time to recover or stretch and stuff.